It was an amazing start to the season, but can they get back up to that level here today?
Game's underway in Perpignan. It's a breezy one, and Catalan will get first touch of the ball. Myla says, there you go, to Remy Casti, and the Catalan captain, ever willing, takes the first hit up for his side.
Bill, when you're low on confidence and you're playing in games like this and you're at the wrong end of the table, you can't ease your way into it. You've got to make sure you start strong, you keep going forward. Defensively, you've got to be strong. Hitting in numbers, just exactly what they're doing now. They're restricting the yardage that Catalan are trying to make. Bringing the ball away. Jamie Acton was very physical with that tackle, and again Glenn Stewart up against one of his former teammates.
Justin Horrow there, and the man tackled back in action. Leigh making their first visit to Perpignan in Super League. They lost to the Dragons on home soil earlier in this campaign as Luke Walsh puts a drilling kick downfield. And Mitch Brown, playing at fullback, his ideal role, I suppose, returns the ball for the Centurions.
Well, every time you watch Mitch Brown, that's what he's good at. He returns the ball with interest, as does this man, Adam Hickson, who's back from that 5-match suspension. He always does get up, plays the ball as quick as he can. He earns his side some penalties, as does this man, Matty Dawson.
Well, Leigh should be fairly relaxed, fairly fresh going into this game. They travel, unlike so many sides now who favour jumping on a plane first thing on a Saturday morning, touching down, having a few hours in a hotel, and then playing the game and getting back on the plane and coming home. Leigh took a more relaxed approach. Out on the Thursday, stayed at a very respectable hotel not far from Perpignan, and so they're prepared well, and Leigh have got the ball back from that kick. The ball's with Drinkwater, but the referee says it was forward, and that is a massive let-off for Catalan, because Jody Broughton, I think it was.
Well, he's been out of action for some time, and maybe out of practice for those high kicks. It was well challenged, wasn't it, Leigh? Contesting those high kicks. What's the size? Just put the ball in the air and hope that the full-back or wing is going to come up with an error and drop the ball. Not the Centurions, they know. They contest those efforts whenever. And here, for the first time, we hear the referee from the whistle. Sorry, the whistle from the referee, I should say. I'll get it in the right order.
I'm not sure how you signal that one, sitting on an opposition player's head, which is ultimately what happened to Jody Broughton there.
They're those little things, though, Bill. You give away a penalty, you go into contact. Just Drinkwater there, the number 7, he falls on top of Jody Broughton and gives away a third penalty. And now look where Catalan are, in Leigh's half, side at the bottom of the table.
I think the referee is obliged to indicate what that penalty was given for, so there should have been some gesture from Gareth Hewer there as to exactly what the offence was. None forthcoming, just a penalty for the Catalan Dragons. And Steve McNamara will be hoping that that's one area he can work on with this team to improve their discipline, because it is an Achilles heel for the Catalan Dragons. It was at Warrington last week. Here is Justin Horrow again. He'll be welcomed back after 10 out, the former Manly and Parramatta man. Casti, meanwhile, he's been getting on with his job, ever present in all 20 games. Durable figure, Remy Casti. Now here's Myla. Myla lobs that one into the air, and well claimed by Dawson.
Well, Fujian neither of the two best options, either contest the ball or tackle a man and push him over the sideline. It was a good kick, difficult, trapped in that corner, but they've rather easily let Leigh out from that tight space and gifted them a penalty in their first set of possession here, so they're back up and out of trouble.
Well, you look at both sides, that they've got the opposition where they want them on tackle one, then all of a sudden you get a bit sloppy, you get a bit scrappy, you're trying to dominate them, slow the ruck down, and then you give a penalty away. That's just too easy. It's easy meters for your opponents.
Great Bird, the culprit. Back in the side, Bird. Burr played the ball. Hansen now. And Leigh hoping for a good, solid start to this game. Making progress. Up towards the halfway line and across the field. Now back inside comes Harrison Hansen, the pass from Drinkwater. 4 tackles gone. Tickle starting this game at prop, Danny Tickle. And that's the 5th tackle. And Drinkwater hoists it. Well, Broughton wasn't too happy under the last one. What's going to happen under this one? Nobody seems interested. It's knocked on. And it's with Hickson now.
Well, they look like they've got no interest. Billy over there. We go back to the first knock on. There was a knock on here by Chris Ninu that goes it forward into Corey Patterson.
It's a great kick though, isn't it? Because it wasn't placed where the fullback or winger ideally practice and rehearse for the ball to fall, and therefore, as we see sometimes, the halfback or the centre, back rower, in two minds whether or not to attempt to catch the ball. They're hoping somebody else who's practiced all week taking the high kicks is going to do it. And he wasn't interested enough here.
He's got to be
another. I agree with you,
he's
but
got
I'm
to be
saying
interested, hasn't he?
it's now, isn't it? The best teams are putting to the kicks into unusual areas, not the predictable spot.
So casual Catalan Dragons, and it allows Leigh an opportunity, and Reynolds almost found a way through, just tripped in actual fact, more than being tackled. But this is a great opportunity now. Jamie Acton brought down about 5 metres out. Hood, Drinkwater, Harrison Hansen, the defence is there from the Catalan Dragons. And they managed to keep Leigh at bay for the moment, but Leigh threatening in front of those hundreds of supporters who've made the journey, who are hoping that they can find a way through now, and they will do with Dawson, and Dawson's got that ball down, surely. Not to the satisfaction of referee Gareth Ewer. Those Leigh fans had a pretty good view of it. They thought it was a try. So does Gareth Ewer. He wants it confirmed by video ref James Childs.
Well, Fuad Yahan didn't look confident. He's playing the opposite wing to Matty Dawson. And when Matty Dawson gets this ball, he steps off his right foot. He's still got an awful lot of work to do, but what about the composure here from Glenn Stewart? He doesn't panic, he sees that the lead runner's going through.
There's the debate on the obstruction. That's what the video referee's been asked to look at, hasn't it? As Glenn Stewart delays his pass, the left centre, the man one in from the wing really, is he impeded in attempting to make a tackle and stopping Stewart from passing the ball? They may need to go back before that, because we do think that eventually this ball's grounded there.
Well, the reason why the dummy runner, the lead runner goes through, but Vince DePorter's already made the wrong read. He's coming in, he's the one who's engaged that contact. So I just think this is a poor read. This is play on. Look, he stands his feet together. He looks to be dominant in defence. The ball goes out the back. It's the wrong read. This is a try.
It's James Childs' call. Have Leigh Centurions got the perfect start in Perpignan? They have!
Time on, try.
Now Matty Dawson gets his 11th try on his 100th career appearance. And Catalan pay the price for dealing with that kick so casually.
Well, they've worked hard and they've worked skillfully here to create an overlap. Not got there the quickest way, but they found the man in space, and Dawson does really well here to finish this try. It looks rather easily, doesn't it? 10 metres out, clear onto the line, but there are 3 defenders coming over, making this difficult. He controls possession, he controls the ball, and he makes sure that the Leigh are now 4 points up in that far corner. He's asking Ben Reynolds here to make it 6, and it'll be a point a minute. It will be a brilliant start for the Centurions on their first visit to Perpignan.
That crucial pass delivered, ironically, by Glenn Stewart, former Catalan Dragon, with 30 appearances in the Dragons' colours in 2016. Now Ben Reynolds, who missed the defeat at Widnes,
Time off.
back in the sides, and when he's on song with a boot, that can spell problems for the opposition. Kicked 9 from 9 in that memorable win over Wigan.
Time on.
And he's got his first of this one. Absolutely drilling that one between the posts. And what a great start for those Centurions fans to witness.
Well, that's exactly what they wanted, wasn't it? It was a poor read from Vince DePorter. He's very good with the ball, but he has, and he does on occasions, bite in. All the hard work was done from the dummy runner, the confidence, the composure that Glenn Stewart had to just release the ball at the right time, and a good finish from Matty Dawson.
Time to run.
Leigh with 9 defeats in 10 League and Cup games, in a really troubling run for them that has set them on course for Middle Eight's involvement.
Hold, Paul.
But they want to be in good heart going into that phase of the season. Players coming into the club, of course, Daniel Mortimer. Interesting to see him warming up with the side ahead of this game, but not selected. Apparently just a slight calf strain. It was still not enough to prevent him warming up with the team.
It's strange, wasn't it, to see him if he did have a problem with his calf warming up, but maybe he's just trying to see what the lads do, the structures, listen to the calls, and go out there and experience what the atmosphere is going to be like. Well,
he's been signed. Samisoni Langi, the Tongan international, on his way as well. That's another high kick, and this time Gigo decides, well, okay, I'll go for that one.
It's gone to the #1 catcher, hasn't it? I mean, if the Dragons spoke about anything after conceding that try, it was dealing with the up and unders that Leigh have put in. 2 already, 2 caused problems, and that was the reason why they were trying to defend them online, which they were unsuccessful doing now. Here's received Fuad Yaha, trying to get back into the flow of the game here, roll forward and put some pressure on their opponents.
Just on the subject of players joining witness or coming back, that ball's come out of Jason Baitieri's grasp, picked up by Paul Ayton. The word is that Mickey Hyam and Gareth Hock could be back, and soon, possibly even next week. They play Warrington next up. And James Clare, the forgotten man of the Leigh Centurions, got a knee injury right at the start of the season, could be back for the closing weeks of the campaign. That kick is a deep one, but it's comfortably dealt with by Adam Higson, and Higson runs it back enthusiastically.
Well, those 3 players will certainly give them a lift in competition for places. Adam Higson, as I said before, coming back into the side, been very impressed with this man, Mitch Brown. The way that he carries the ball, high shot on him, made 131 appearances, the NRL, Mitch Brown. He's so strong and accomplished. When he carries that ball, he accelerates into contact. So that means that the defenders, sometimes they mistime the tackles. They're expecting him to go at 1 speed, then all of a sudden he just ups the ante, steps off his right foot, goes for the gap, and Samoa with the high shot.
Not a good start from the Catalan Dragons. Sloppy start. And Leigh have taken full advantage. Glenn Stewart, coming up with 10 minutes on the clock. The Centurions lead by 6 points to 0. Here is Acton now.
Leigh playing at the line, I think it was Danny Tickle who tips the ball on to Jamie Acton. They were expecting the ball to go out the back. Good strong carry there. The problem here with Danny Tickle in the background is that
Gareth Hugh explaining that he called held about 5 metres back.
Time's off.
And touch judge is on.
I think they're going to look at that shot there from Samoa on Danny Tickle.
Gareth Hugh coming across for a word. And
okay, got Samoa, got a late tackle on Danny Tickle, just a penalty.
Just a penalty.
Just a penalty, yeah.
Centre field.
Yeah, it is the Samoa challenge.
Okay.
And you've got to be brave when you're carrying the ball, and Danny Tickle goes right into the heart of their defence.
If it's serious, then it should be a sin bin for me now. If you want to stop the game for that, and I'm not disagreeing with the touch judge there, that if that's a late challenge, then the player should be sin bin there for dangerously hitting a ball player after he's passed the ball unaware, an unprotected position there. But it's a penalty here now, and another chance for Leigh to score again.
What were you saying about discipline before this game, Phil? Catalan again showing that frailty, that indiscipline that has cost them so often this season and could cost them again here now. Here is Acton once more. Really difficult player to stop. He's had 1 or 2 run-ins with referees, but still managed to have a very good season. Stewart coming back in field, throws himself at his former teammate Gigo. Right under those posts. Corey Patterson was hoping to get the pass away on the last here. Hood will go for it. They'll get over, will they? They will. For another try, the Leigh Centurions. And Catalan pay the price again.
Well, they've been good having it close to opponent's line this season. All have managed to get big players to crash over from close range. And is that Danny Tickle there?
It's Danny Tickle.
Knocked down a few minutes ago. He's got back up again and got over the line here. Nice shot pass from Liam Hood. Crashes through 2 defenders, and Samoa, who started all this problem with the penalty in the opposition half about 60, 80 seconds ago, now stands behind his post, looking at another 6 points put on the scoreboard against his team.
Danny Tickle, who scored a try against Wigan to reach 2,500 career points after a long wait for tries, and then 2 come along in rapid succession. And this one presents Ben Reynolds with a straightforward conversion, and Leigh with a 12-point lead. Look at those Centurion supporters at that far end of the ground, jubilant. Long way to go, but great start for their side.
This will be a valuable 2 points if this goes over now. Danny Tickle been heavily involved in the opening 12 minutes of the game.
Ben Reynolds just composing himself. And on target.
Good hookers just want the forwards to run onto the ball, pick a hole, and Liam Hood knows that when he hears that call from Danny Tickle, all he's got to do is get out, he's got to fix Sam Mower, and then Danny Tickle's going to run a good line and get a one-on-one so close to the line with a defender who's rocking back on his heels. It was a good try and good play from the Leigh Centurions, but ill discipline from Catalan.
Catalan won 37-26 at Leigh back in April, when their season was looking a bit more promising. It's not looking promising now. Steve McNamara's first game in charge since taking over from Laurent Freysinou.
Well, we spoke about the confidence perhaps being a problem for the Catalan side. Remember, the last home game was an embarrassing event. They conceded 56 points against the Huddersfield Giants. It looked like they might do again here unless they improve.
Glenn Stewart's up for this one.
But that's too easy. Look at the meters that they're making. It's like they're just sitting back and waiting. There's gaps opening up.
Is that because they're conscious of not being conceding another penalty, though, with interference here? Perhaps the reason why they're getting off so quickly.
Maybe so, Phil. They're just not getting off the line in defence, though.
And Drinkwater hoists that kick. Gigot comes for it. Claims that one. So the last couple of kicks they've managed to deal with. Here is Jody Broughton.
Well, this is where you've got to show your discipline. You've got, like I said before, you've got to work with the referee. You've got to tell him you're onside. You've got to get your line speed sorted. You've got to get up, make sure there's no gaps around the ruck area. That's the focal point of the game. Wherever they play the ball is, that's where the game starts from. Don't worry about the space on the edges sometimes.
Good defence from Leigh. Good harassing of the Catalan players. But now Dupont has possession just on the halfway line. There's a Catalan player down in backfield as the kick comes in and just finds a touch.
20.
In goal, I think, Bill, is to complete your sentence there.
I was hedging my bets.
There's a couple of physical challenges then from Leigh Centurions. They left a couple of the Catalan players on the ground, so they're feeling the effects of some of the Leigh middlemen. They're really getting the shoulders into the midriff, stopping them dead when they're carrying the ball.
Got the shoulders into Matty Dawson then. Here's from the opposite flank, Adam Hickson. Sent off against Salford at the Magic Weekend game, and Catalan concede another penalty, and Remy Casti Gallic shrug of innocence. But already Gareth Hewer wants a word.
Well, they won't stand for it, Gareth Hewer. I've never seen a referee change his mind.
There in a short space of time. Have a word with him. We've got to have a response.
There you go. He wants a response, please. You can't just keep giving those penalties away. Yeah, Catalan are frustrated. The home fans are frustrated. The new coach, Steve McNamara, will be frustrated. But he's going to be more frustrated with the here and now, and this isn't good enough for Catalan.
Well, here's Danny Tickle, one of the 2 try scorers already in this game for the Leigh Centurions on their first visit to Perpignan. Lost in the cup against Catalan in 2011, lost against them in Super League earlier in this season.
Remy, 10 metres. Wait.
But they're leading here by 12 points to 0, and they're in a good position again. Here's Tickle once more. 4 tackles gone.
Sam, goal line.
Catalan backtracking towards their own try line. Stewart once more. Stewart is wrapped up and brought to the ground. Is Myler with the tackle, and Hoods went for the ball. There was another Catalan hand in there. They are getting hammered.
He's having a field day, isn't he, Glenn Stewart? They can't control him over there on the right edge. He's riding the tackles, he's putting the players on that he wants. And again, good field position, so close to Catalan's line.
Acton grits his teeth and gets his side to within a couple of metres of that Catalan try line, and they're going to try and put something on here. Reynolds! And they've got another one! They've got another try of the Leigh Centurions, and it's Ben Reynolds! His 4th of the season. Jason Bajeri cannot believe it. The Catalan fans can't believe it. I'm not sure the Centurions fans can.
He's a good player, Ben Reynolds. His running game is outstanding. He's not bothered about wording the tackle so close to the line. He takes the ball, he shows the ball to Danny Tickle. He leaves, I think it's Justin Horrow, standing, grasping thin air. He's got to be brave, and he is a fabulous player. A player that certainly stepped up and made his mark in Super League this year.
Well, some serious talking going on now amongst the Catalan group. If you look at the build-up for the last 2 tries, it's been penalty, try, close to their own try line, and they're unable to stop that flow at present. But I agree with you about Ben Reynolds. You know, it takes longer to graduate as a half-back in the highest level of rugby league. He's 23 years of age, he's moved around in his career, he's had his highs and his lows, but I think he's a player over the next 5 years who could become even more sought after and highly regarded. As you say, he can run, pass, tackle and kick now, and those 4 attributes are making him a valuable member of this Leigh side.
Former Castleford Tigers junior Ben Reynolds, but spent quite a long time with the York club, and that's where Leigh noticed him, and it's been a noticeable performance from him and the Centurions so far.
Well, they've only got themselves to blame, haven't they? The gift in the field position to him. Look at that. Jason Materia, he couldn't get there, he didn't have enough speed, but then Justin Horrow's at fault here.
I'm just thinking back to Thursday night when all the pundits in Sky are asked to pick the predictions for the weekend, and not thinking there wasn't many actually predicted a Leigh victory on that occasion.
And even those that did would not have predicted 18-0 early on in this game. Is that a dig at you?
I think the only reason why Phil said that was because he's the only one who predicted Leigh to win.
Come on, the Centurions. It's been an amazing opening quarter from them. At some point, Catalan, you expect are going to get back into the game. They need to press on and make this period, this golden period for the Leigh club, last as long as it possibly can. Dominant in possession, going forward. You'd have thought maybe even another penalty possibly on that occasion. Great control from the Leigh side to start this match.
Well, that's right. I mean, Dutour went back then for a second grapple, didn't he? And could have been penalised. Here is Danny Tickle. Muscular run from the experienced Tickle. 34 years of age now. Oh, that's a big hit after the kick. Gigo is underneath it.
Again, 90 metres in that set of 6.
Reynolds felt that.
Hold it, time
on. Richard Marler who came in and made contact with him, trying to put pressure on. Both seem to be. Is it a collision of heads?
You've got the mark, Gareth. Time's off.
A physical player, isn't he, Greg Bird?
He has picked up some injuries on his return to the Catalan Dragons as Greg Bird. Blood dripping from Ben Reynolds' nose. Bird seemingly determined to get back on his feet, but
both players
the physio obviously keeping him where he is.
Well, Greg Bird just trying to lead by example, knowing that he's got to put pressure on the kicker, and that man is Ben Reynolds. He gets off the line, he gets in his eye line, he hits him. I don't think there's a problem with the hit.
No, it's just an accidental collision, isn't it? I think Greg Bird was hoping to be the spark plug for the Catalan Dragons to start the engine. They've never really begun this game yet. They're not in it, and they needed something to turn it around, to stop the momentum that Leigh had. And I think the indication here is now that both players may be okay. Falls awkwardly though. I'll be surprised if Greg Bird doesn't come off the field just to be assessed. I don't know whether Corey Patterson there should be complimented for what he's done.
He was a bit nicer to his own teammate, wasn't he?
He's been on the first aid course. I don't think that really was appropriate.
Didn't seem the best approach. Harrison Hansen consoling Greg Bird. And a busy game already for Gareth Ewer, who's not one of the full-time officials, got a day job. Edouard Pellissier looking forward to getting out on the pitch. to face his former teammates.
Yeah, run straight to the players, get sorted.
Well, he's a
Play
big
the ball
loss.
over here. Just got wait
Greg
because the
Bird
doctor
going
on
off
the
the
field,
field.
Tony. Yeah,
That will
it's
not
play the
help
ball.
the Catalans' cause. He is a game breaker if there is one in the Catalan side.
Just to play the ball, mate.
Certainly
Yeah.
leads by example. He was trying to on that occasion.
We just have
What
to allow
Leigh
the
need to
doctor
guard
on.
against here is this breaking play isn't a break in their concentration.
Just
We
back
very
up,
often
Tony.
see when the game stops for
Play
2 or
the ball
3
where you're
minutes,
tackled.
an error occurs next. Leigh need to make sure that's not an error in their defence, while they keep a firm grip on the Dragons deep in their own half.
Where are
You
you,
could
Danny?
see the blood on the head of Greg
Right,
Bird.
inside.
Obviously got a
Time on.
bang there.
Go. First.
I do have to question Corey Patterson's reaction to that.
Two move.
If he'd had got some sort of injury, well, thankfully he hasn't. Play continues.
Well, that little break looks like it's helped Leigh, doesn't it?
Hold. Wait. Go.
And look how tight they are. There's not much space there for Geordie Broughton. He runs into 3 tacklers.
Hold. Go.
Oh, that ball pinged up for Myler, but came forwards off one of his teammates, Samoa, I think it was.
Well, he's destructive when he runs the ball.
Here's the mark.
Samoa,
Scrum.
the ex-Kiwi international, is very direct when he plays. The little tip on play for Richie Myler.
So
Jason.
the 2 days preparation that
Jason,
Leigh have had in the
it
south
back
of
here.
France seems to have paid off. That's probably the best opening quarter they've played all
Time
year.
off.
They've put their opponents under pressure when the Dragons have had the ball, and they've been clinical and in great control when they've had possession. And you know what? That's the game stops
mark,
again
mate.
here now for another injury.
Here we are.
Momentarily, Samoa treated, but Leigh have this game at the moment in both hands.
An opportunity here to thank an eagle-eared viewer from Oldham, and Mr. McDermott, who was drawn to our attention the fact that Steve McNamara, of course, is not the first Englishman to coach this Catalan club, because Steve Deakin did it, and did it right at the early outset of the Catalan club, and in the UTC days as well. So he's got a long association, Steve, with the Catalan club.
Well, there's no way this boot's going to fall off, is there now? The boot strapped on, and Steve McNamara, we see him in the, he's certainly what they say in the hot seat, he's in a hot box.
Did a very good job, Steve Deakin, at the juniors at Catalan, and Catalan under-16 took on Leigh Miners under-16s before the game, coached by Christian Tyra, the former Witness Vikings player.
Heading,
They've had
Tony.
a tremendous experience down there. The result
head
didn't
in,
go
clear,
their way
head in.
when a lot of those players have signed professional forms to play in the Super League next year.
Well, the Leigh Centurions result, or scoreline, certainly going their way so far.
Hold, baby.
Higson
Go.
struggling to get to his feet. Here is Anthony Maria, another one of the French contingent in Leigh Centurions colours, once of Toulouse and the Catalan Dragons. Anthony Maria having a good run of form off the bench. Myler has got a knock. He's in pain. He put the tackle in on Stewart, couldn't complete it. That pass can't reach Dawson. Reynolds, oh, it's a real battle out there. Reynolds with cotton wool up his nose. Myler in trouble. It looks like shoulder for Richie Myler.
Oh, he's struggling, isn't he? Reynolds there to Stewart. Straight over the top. He's been picking out Richie Myler. Every time they get down this channel, look, he goes straight into him. It's an awkward challenge from Richie Myler. Gets his head in the wrong place. And Glenn Stewart rides. The tackle goes over the top of him. They're playing with so much enthusiasm. Leigh Centurions, they certainly look up for this game. 18 points up in the south of France. They'll just keep doing what they're doing, and Neil Jukes has done a tremendous job preparing his side for what would have been a very physical, dangerous game.
Looks as though Catalan are ready to make a couple of changes. Anyway, Garcia and Busquets about to come on.
They need some impact, don't they, from those two players, and well, there you go, Richie Myler. We won't be seeing him again in this game, so a big loss.
Right, lads, let's get to the scrum.
For the Dragons, and they'll be working extra hard now on Greg Bird, hoping they can bring him back onto the field.
We all know that 18 points is a significant lead, but I don't think it's a match-winning one at this point in the match, and that was an opportunity there for Leigh to score again in the corner. Whilst ever it stays at this, the Dragons have got a chance. You know, penalty kicks usually even themselves up by the time we get to the end of the match. At the moment, the Dragons have received far fewer than their opponents, and they'll be hoping to get some penalties to get into an attacking position, which they simply haven't had in this game yet.
So very stop-start contest. There's Ben Reynolds with the plugs up his nostrils.
Will you give me a call, Gareth?
Richie Myler, of course, destined for the Leeds Rhinos in 2018, but destined for a spell on the sidelines potentially here now after that tackle went wrong.
Okay, Louis,
This
head
has
in.
been
Head in, Paul.
calamitous
Hold the line.
start to this
Good.
game, well, calamitous opening quarter
Time on.
for the
Out.
Catalan Dragons, conceding the points, and now they've lost. A bit like St Helens
Back,
did the other
move.
night
Hold.
with Matty Smith.
Well, one of your playmakers going off, there's a lot more pressure
Two
now
move, Danny. Wait.
on Luke
Hold.
Walsh. He's got to guide the side around. He's got to take control on both sides of the ruck. Be interesting to see who goes in the half-back role.
Three. Move, Josh. Wall.
Krishna
Wait.
Ninu.
Go.
Hardly seen him in this game. Here is Garcia.
Offside.
And Leigh are offside, says referee Hewer. Catalan, to the ironic cheers of their supporters, who do ironic cheering very well, the Catalan fans, get a penalty.
Is a mark.
Well, they might feel as though they've been hard done to, but they've been just outplayed, haven't they, in the opening 20 minutes. And Luke Walsh and his team here hoping to start all over again. It is hard when they do that.
Lads.
They've come into this game, not sure the frame of
Let's
mind as
hold.
Benjamin Garcia
Go.
picked out Josh Drinkwater, assumed he was in an offside position, ran
Let's
into him on
move, Johnny.
purpose,
Hold.
and now
Wait.
have a chance to show
Go.
whether they've got anything at all to offer in attack.
They haven't shown anything so far. Leigh
Two.
have been
Anthony
dictating
moves.
territory,
Hold, Danny.
dictating
Wait.
the pace of this game. Can Catalan turn the tables? Here's Jason Baitieri.
Help.
And it looks like
Release
Paul
three.
Layton's gone into the
Get square.
standoff role or the scrum half role to play alongside Luke Walsh. There's another
Wait.
penalty's given here
Release
now
them.
for Catalan. This will certainly help the cause. There's a quick tap.
Louis Anderson has joined the action as well, off the
First
bench,
move, Glenn.
making
Goal
his
line, Danny.
200th Super League appearance. The former Warrington man Louis Anderson made more appearances for the Catalan Dragons
Two,
now than he
move,
did
Danny.
for
Goal line,
Warrington. But
hold,
look at this,
go.
Catalan, and it's with Garcia, and as he got that ball down,
Three.
he's just
Move.
short of the try line. Ben Garcia. Casti will try his luck.
Four.
This time
Move.
Leigh managed to
Hold
stop
the goal line,
him.
Harrison, wait.
Stewart
Wait,
is everywhere.
go.
Stewart and Tickle with the defence there. Here is over the top to Broughton, and Broughton surely will get this one down. Did he manage to ground that before going into touch? Well, the referee isn't convinced. I'm not
Time off.
sure either.
Well, Adam
Tackle
Hickson
four.
gets this wrong. He's got to have more
Try.
faith in his centre,
Just hit
Matty
the ground
Fleming.
and the touchline,
Both
please.
players went for the same man. See, they were looking at Chris Ninu. He left a big gap out there for Jody Broughton. And that looks fine. To me, it looks like he grounds this ball. He certainly knows how to finish a try, Jody Broughton. Yeah, no problem. Try for Catalan.
It was close, but Jody Broughton surely has got back-to-back tries. Back last week after 15 out against the Warrington Wolves, and he came up with a try. Has he come up with a try to get the Dragons on the board here? He has.
Time on, try.
Couldn't got much closer to that corner post.
Well, again, we've had that familiar pattern that we've seen already twice in this game. For the third time, a penalty, and then a try at the end of it. One finished by Jody Broughton in the corner. Just given the home supporters something to get excited about. Good passing, they found the space, and Tony Guijo finding the pass there that provides a chance for the right winger, Jody Broughton, who's never really looked comfortable. You say he missed 15 games in a row. He isn't back to his best, but they need Luke Walsh to be at his best. The second best goal kicker in Super League this season, behind Mark Sneed from Hull.
Walsh with an 87% success rate. 58 goals landed so far this season. This will be one of the trickier ones he's faced, but that exactly illustrates why he's got such a phenomenal return, Luke Walsh.
When Adam Hickson watches this back, he'll be disappointed. He goes in, you can see his hips were wrong, he lost where Jody Broughton was. You know that when you play against the likes of Jody Broughton, he is an out-and-out finisher. He'll hug that touchline, he'll back his own speed. communication's key when you're defending your try line, and there was no communication on that occasion between Higson and Fleming.
Jody Broughton got 19 tries last year on in Catalan colours. This season, he has managed, well, that's just his second, because he's been out for so long. Oof, Casti just dumps that. Good job. Benjamin Garcia was alert to that one.
Well, he's certainly given them a lift, hasn't he, Benjamin Garcia? And they needed that. Again, look at him.
Two move, Danny.
Behind dummy half, he's a powerful man playing the centre. Drop back row, hooker now as well.
Three move, Liam. Hold, wait.
Leigh really putting their shoulders into it defensively, trying to rattle the Dragons.
Surrender.
Corey Patterson just manages to cling on to Horo. Here is Sam Moa. Moa drives it in towards Anthony Maria.
He's looking to get the arm free and offload that ball then to Garcia, Sam Moa.
And Shigo manages to get the kick away. It's a good one as well, just managing to find a bit of greenery before that sideline. Catalan will be happy with that after the tries in their previous set of 6.
Well, after a disastrous opening 20 minutes, don't they? They've now got themselves, I think, back talking and positive. They found the sideline, which I think they wanted to do. And they're just going to talk here now and try and calm down for a moment or two. But I would say, if you look at the tackling of the two teams, the intensity, the aggression, the enthusiasm from Leigh when they don't have the ball seems to be superior of that of the home side. Whether the Centurions can maintain that now in this second quarter of the game is a test. They've thrown a lot at them. They've moved up quickly. Can they continue to stay at that standard?
Kieran Turtle down on the balcony above the dugouts on that side of the ground, just having a word with Paul Anderson down below him.
Wait. Square, Jason.
Leigh ahead by 18 points to 6. Jason, beg your pardon, Justin Horo. I think he'd gone to sleep there.
Well, he must have been trapped in there. There must have been an explanation of why he didn't move.
He didn't say anything to the referee, though, did he? He didn't say anything to Gareth Ewer. And I agree, you've got to be some sort of movement at least. Not just lie on your opponent.
So another penalty in favour of the Leigh Centurions, and the Catalan Dragons, they do often protest that they don't get a fair crack of the whip, but they've made a rod for their own back in this one.
The penalties that they've given away, the dead set penalties, you can't complain to the referee, Gareth Ewer. You can hear him talking, he's working with the players.
Here is Stewart. Oh, Crooks can't take that one, and Catalan will get it back. No advantage to them.
Ball lost.
And Leigh frustrated by that.
Well, it's nice movement from Leigh. Unfortunately, when the ball goes out the back, Mitch Brown's put on the pressure. He looks up, sees what's in front of him. He can't control the ball. It's a mistake that they've made, but at least they've not made the mistake close to their line. Can they get through this set? Can they restrict the meters that Catalan are looking at making and not give a penalty away as well?
Loose forwards, heads in.
Leigh Centurions have won in France before, back in April 2010, and they visited Limoux in the Challenge Cup, and they won by 32 points to 20. Mick Nannin was the hero that day. He got a couple of tries, and as he usually did, kicked plenty of goals, kicked 4 goals on that occasion. Can they pick up another win in France here? They lead by 18 points to 6. Jason Baitieri tackled on the Leigh 40-metre line. Catalan trying to stage a bit of a comeback here. Garcia driven back. Good work by Acton and Corey Patterson it was. It's Glenn Stewart, I beg your pardon. He's everywhere. Man-possessed Glenn Stewart.
He's quality player, isn't he, Glenn Stewart?
Walsh hoists that kick. It's a good teasing one, but Higson is underneath it. Horo makes the tackle.
I think Steve McMahon maybe a little disappointed there that you have 3 players within the picture within a 5 or 10 metre radius of where that ball came down, and none of them made life more difficult for Adam Higson.
He didn't miss then, Louis Anderson. Well, Matty Fleming, when he was bringing that ball back, again, some physical challenges here.
Catalan trying to rattle the Centurions. Here is Drinkwater. It's Reynolds, I beg your pardon.
It's the substitutions. It's Louis Anderson, Bousquet, Garcia. Those three players have come on and they've certainly lifted the teammates.
Strange, a couple of them certainly probably forced substitutions with Myler and Bird going off. Great work is the shouts. And putting pressure on the Centurions kicker, and Gigot brings it back.
Well, that's a more positive start, isn't it? They're getting towards that 40-metre zone in more attacking position, but again, the pace with which Leigh move forward. You know, a lot of teams measure how many metres a player makes after contact. As soon as he hits the defender, as we see here, that it goes down, and I would say Leigh have been better in that area so far.
Here is Chris Aninu. Aninu, such a nonchalant sort of player, very languid style of running, but makes good ground there. Short pass finds Busquet. Gigot, there is urgency about Catalan now. Here's Walsh. Walsh, a little grubber kick, but just batted behind, I think, by Drinkwater. Greg Bird back on.
Well, he wasn't taking any chances. Josh Drinkwater, who's under pressure from Justin Horrocks. And this kick's put in from Luke Walsh. It's perfect. You could hear the footprints of Horrocks. But some good carries from the outside backs from Catalan that gets them into this position. First it was Fuad Yaha, then Chris Ninu, then all of a sudden it was too quick for Leigh Centurions.
Goal line dropout, Mitch Brown booms that one towards the halfway line. Gigot underneath it, and strong run back and strong resistance from the Centurions defenders. Waiting there to greet Mikel Simon. Two tackles gone, Garcia to the ground.
Usually goes to Luke Walsh's side. They've switched here now, they brought it back to Justin Horrocks.
Horrocks, little dummy, but still looking, and Inu had just switched off a bit then. Aiton, Walsh, up the middle again, Mikel Simon. Catalan having a good spell here, and threatening once more. Aiton finds Walsh. Walsh on for Bird. Bird. That's the fifth tackle. Aiton just slips. They go for it, and Busquet is Simon, I beg your pardon, and Mikel Simon has got another Catalan try. Mikel Simon gets his first of the season, and Catalan are battling their way back into this game, and as Terry and Phil have said, it's the replacements that are doing the job.
It is, it's the impact from the bench. Again, you just got to set your line and believe in what your teammates are doing. You know that Luke Walsh can just fix a couple of defenders. He'll thread that ball, he'll give it you, he'll try and set you up with a one-on-one defender. He does that with Josh Drinkwater, and Mikel Simon, look at him, when he gets this ball, he comes onto the ball, he hits it nice and flat. He's only got Drinkwater to contend with, well, along with the post, spins out of that and comes up with a try.
Mikel Simon, first try of the season. His last try, in actual fact, was against the Catalan Dragons. He scored for Wakefield at the Magic Weekend last year. So that's a crucial try. And bang in front of the post, and this will narrow the gap as well.
Luke Walsh has a smile on his face. The pressure he created with that goal line dropout, they've eventually converted into 4 points. He's made that 6, and at 18-12, we're back to game on. They've got close to opponent's try line on 2 occasions here now, and whether a big man in the middle or a quick man out wide, they're finding a way over Leigh's line. Now, Leigh aren't missing many tackles, but the lesson I'm sure they're learning is that it's very hard to defend close to your own try line here in the south of France, with the Dragon side who are desperate, absolutely determined. This is a must-win game in front of the home fans to keep their hopes alive for 2017.
Is that realistic? Even if they win this one, to think that Catalan can get out of trouble. Well, they've got Wigan at home, St Helens away, Castleford at home to come.
Well, they have to artificially recreate the confidence that they had at the start of the season. A win here would certainly help them. They need 3 more after that. But the 2 home games give them an opportunity, and then they just have to be at their very, very best when they play against the Saints. Strong run again there by Simon.
Wigan next up for the Catalan Dragons next Saturday. Always a big occasion when Wigan come to town. Of course, the first opponents when they entered Super League in 2006.
It'll be a big game for them, won't it? I'm not so sure whether they can come up with 3 wins, but they're certainly showing what they can do. They're a good side. They've got very good players.
Hold. Wait.
But unfortunately for Laurent Fresneau early on, it's not gone for them. Look at this. This is what you want.
This is what Leigh wants. Great run from Hickson.
Oh,
dear.
Tony. Time off. He's injured.
This will be a big loss. I say Laurent Fresneau would have been watching this thing, and why didn't you do this for me? The new coach Steve McNamara will be impressed with the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes that the side has shown. You could see Louis Anderson, he falls on Adam Hickson.
Has he already injured the knee though before actually the collision?
This is it here now.
At that point though, it bends backwards. Yeah. His right knee's got some sort of strapping around it anyway before he even began the game.
5 outs for Hickson after that suspension. In actual fact, the word was that he got a bit of a bicep problem ahead of this game. So in the wars, the Centurions winger, but back on his feet.
Back. Tackle 2,
That's good news for Leigh. Eloi Pelissier is on. Big game for him. Back at his former club. Had 6 seasons at the Catalan Dragons. Made 154 appearances. Scored 27 tries. Was a real nuisance. Generally.
Well, he was a real nuisance at Catalan. He's a real nuisance now in the Leigh Centurions jersey. Again, he'll know all the strengths and weaknesses of the players that he's playing against here.
Eventually fell out with his chairman, Bernard Gouache. A man you don't really want to fall out with. But it's time to move on, and he's now a Centurions player.
Okay.
That kick is hoisted. Gigot claims that one. It does seem as though somebody has sent the word out and said, look, you've really got to dominate.
Well, I think if the kicks go in his vicinity, he'll get under them, and the kick takes more than he misses. But some of the early ones went towards Christian Inu and Jordy Broughton. They were unable to deal with those.
Move, Glenn! Hold!
The word is that Eloi Pelissier, of course, the family run a very well-known pizza establishment not far from Perpignan, and Leigh will be guesting there later on this evening. Wonder if they'll be going there as winners after this one. The kick from Walsh is a good one, but well fielded. Very well claimed by Mitch Brown. That was a 40-20 on the cards.
He had to be good to take that ball in then, didn't he? Mitch Brown used all his experience. And there's another injury here.
Good fullback play.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I think we've seen the energy. He knew Mikel Simon here has a head collision here, but he got there to take it on the full. He's played some centres, played some fullback. Isn't the sort of fullback who plays like an extra standoff, running around and passing it, more of a runner with the ball, and a powerful one at that. Terry pointed out the ground he often makes to help his side roll downfield. Just check that he's okay. We've had several stoppages in this first half.
Mikel Simon, try scorer, back on his feet. Catalan have not been the force at home that they normally are. Their last home game against Huddersfield, they suffered their second heaviest home defeat in Super League, 56 points to 12, and they're looking for only their 4th home win of the season going into this game. So they're not as awesome a prospect, but they're still an awesome prospect. It's a difficult journey, intimidating atmosphere.
And when they came into Super League, it was all about how good the home form was.
Is that a late challenge on the kicker? That's what one or two of the Leigh fans are thinking.
has let that one go, and they could pay the price here. They will, and Sam Hopkins, just off the bench, I think, has got a tryout and nothing. Luke was furious with the referee, imploring him to go to the screen. Gareth Hewitt isn't interested, and Catalan have paid the price for another piece of indecisive defending.
Well, you've got to back yourself, haven't you? And Fuad Yaha, look, he's hoping that this ball goes over the sideline. There's a little push in the back from Ben Crooks, and that could have been penalised, but they played to the whistle, the Leigh Centurions. They offloaded the ball, they give it Sam Hopkins. Look at this, the little push in the back. That should have been penalised, that.
Why have you not gone to the video referee for that? I know it's easy here now. The referee's on the field, he wants to make a live call, but that's a huge mistake there now from both the touch judge and the referee. They haven't spotted that. First I thought there was a potential for a late challenge on the kicker when Ben Reynolds put the ball through here, but he's not allowed to touch or push him out of the way here, and Ben Crooks does that. It's obvious to everybody. The referee was stood by. He had an opportunity there to double check this.
And that's why Luke Walsh was in the referee's face, screaming to go to the video referee.
Well, the more we see it, there's even a risk that his foot touches the line, the out of bounds, the sideline, as he picks the ball up.
Oh dear. Ben Reynolds will look to convert this try that has raised the anger of the Catalan Dragons supporters. They've been watching a replay of that incident on the big screen, and furthermore it rather looks as though when he picked that ball up, Ben Crooks had a foot in touch. Not one but two reasons for going to the video ref. Well, some consolation. Reynolds has pushed the kick wide. Listen to the boos of the crowd.
Oh, they didn't turn the 4 into 6, but yeah, you could see his foot's in touch. He pushes through Adjaha to the ground. The referee's there. And Sam Hopkins doesn't wait around. He gets the ball, he offers himself, scores the try. Oh no, that has gone against the Catalan favourite. Wow, and the touch judge is there.
The sun coming out in Perpignan, but dark clouds for the Catalan Dragons as that one goes out on the full.
And that's not the first time that's happened for the Dragons this year. He's kicked it with everything, he's kicked it too far here. It's a very important 3 minutes remaining before half-time, a 10-point lead. They probably, at Leigh side, deserve to be 10 points ahead, even though they didn't deserve that last try. The last thing that the home supporters want now to see is that Leigh Centurions go over again here now. Back-to-back tries could be vital here now. 10 points they're able to come back from with Steve McNamara's instructions at half-time. I've no doubt they can score more than 10 in the second half, but more than that becomes a mountain.
Well, just when Catalan thought that they were starting to dominate, they got Leigh on the back foot. They're the victims of a couple of decisions like that.
Bill, it's going to have to be a controlled dressing room though, isn't it, at half-time?
Well, here come the Centurions again. Here comes Glenn Stewart, who's had an outstanding first half against his former club, Pellissier, Anthony Maria, 3 former Catalan players in harmony there. Discord, though, among the Catalan fans. Reynolds, the pass over the top from Drinkwater. Hickson bats it back. They keep it alive, and Horrow can't pick it up.
There's a knock-on from Justin Horrow, though. Another set of 6 here for the Centurions.
But does Lachlan Burr tackle him without the ball? Is that the reason why he knocks it on?
Penalty conceded. Somebody has said something.
Well, he's not standing for it, is he, Gareth Fewer, the referee?
How can you be in 2 places at once?
Presumably speaking to Phil there. Oh, didn't go for the 2 points.
Hold.
They sense the 6 coming here. They're that confident here now.
Anthony Maria.
Hold the goal line, Tony. Hold.
He has tackled about 5 metres out to Pellissier. How he'd love to bag a try against his former club. Hopkins looking for his second. I think he's got it.
Time off.
This time, Gareth Fewer has gone to the video ref.
Try. Just check the ground.
Yeah, this is a try, this, Bill. Well, that's the reason why they didn't go for 2 points. They backed themselves. They knew that they had Catalan on the ropes. And again, Sam Hopkins, though, just picks out a smaller man, keeps pumping his legs. Paul Ayton's more or less trying to strip the ball, but he keeps hold of it. He's over the try line. There's not a problem. Look at that. Grounds the ball. Good read from Sam Hopkins yet again, and another strong, big, brave line.
You have to have a degree of sympathy for the Dragons, though, as we wait to see this decision, because I do think the knock-on which gave the scrum before the penalties, we see the try awarded, was again a very harsh call. Justin Horrow pushed in the back before he actually made a contact with the ball. We won't get to see that here on this occasion as we crash over from close range here. times the run. He's been absolutely brilliant. One of the competition's best at scoring tries from close range. Jamie Acton's been good. Sam Hopkins excellent this year for Leigh at important times in big games.
Right next to the posts, and gives Ben Reynolds another 2 straightforward points. Sam Hopkins back-to-back tries. The first one dubious, not on his part. The build-up to it made it dubious. Second one, again, took matters into his own hands and takes his tally for the season to 6 tries. Great performance from the Welsh international Sam Hopkins. And Reynolds just composing himself. Last kick of a first half that has been a big success for the Leigh Centurions on their first visit to Perpignan in Super League. Their supporters are on their feet. Underway in Perpignan. Welcome back, and Catalan kicking us off. Leigh defending this impressive 28 points to 12 lead.
Back, Chris, and hold.
And Catalan were on the brink of fighting their way back into this game. It's launched their fight back and then conceded those 2 tries just before half-time, and that really has left them with a massive battle in this second half.
It's going to be interesting to see what the reaction's like from the Dragons. The coach, Steve McNamara, has had them in the sheds, talking to them, telling them that what he wants, and things have gone against them, but it's how they play in the next 40 minutes. Just 16 points behind on the scoreboard, and if there's a team in Super League that can score 16 points, it is this Catalan side, but they've got to play better and they've got to be more disciplined.
Anthony Maria trying to offload that ball. Leigh just 1 away win under their belts so far this season, and that was at Hull the weekend after Magic. So this would be an impressive scalp if they could head home eventually from Perpignan with the points to get the penalty.
Yeah, but they need to demonstrate some body language that shows they're really up for this, aren't they? They want to be the first at every ball. They want to react quicker than their opponents. And they want to need to show that they want to work harder than anyone in a Leigh shirt here now to do whatever it takes to come back, claw back that 16-point deficit.
Justin Horrow,
hold.
New Zealand Maori international, plays that ball. Here's Mikel Simon, but Anthony Maria very quickly up on his former colleague. Here is Busquet now. Stewart all over him. Gigo's pass comes off Stewart, and the former Australian international just grins. He knows what he was up to there.
Well, he passes the ball straight into Stewart. And Garcia's pushing up, he's expecting the ball, but knew exactly what he was doing. He was caught on the wrong side of the ruck. There was interference there because he passed the ball into him. So a nice, easy little penalty here.
Well, Leigh showed in the first half, didn't they? When they were awarded penalties early in the match, they could go at the other end and score points. Can the Dragons do it now?
Here is Louis Anderson. Penalty. What's to come next? Benjamin Garcia has shown up well for Catalan since he came off the bench. Left the club for a brief stint in the NRL at Penrith. Back in his hometown now. Simon. Corey Patterson all over him. Short pass. Oh, Busquet was almost through. It was forward.
Oh, it was a good hole as well, wasn't it, to run through for the big man Julian Busquet. Look at this. He fakes the ball as though it's going out the back to Greg Bird.
Well, that call's come from a touch, Judge. It's a pity he couldn't see it closer on in the first half, really. He's seen a 40-metre pass that's drifted forward by 4 millimetres. But sadly for the French team here, and I wasn't even convinced that was a forward pass. Referee's blown the whistle.
It was hard to make that call, wasn't it? I mean, not hard to make that call. It was right on the white line.
Loose forwards, heads right in. Hold the line.
Head and feet to the Centurions. They won't be complaining. Catalan putting the shove on at the scrum.
The Dragons are still in a good position though here. They're only 10 metres from the line. Let's see what they can do defensively.
Let's go. Out.
Here's Matty Fleming.
Back Tony,
hold.
Hold.
From St Helens, that loan extended in fact.
Mikel, move.
Higson now, another Matty.
Get square. Hold.
He's an adamant fact. Matty Dawson's the other Matty in the side. Here's Glenn Stewart.
Leigh looked dangerous every time they move the ball to this right side, and it's because of that man, Glenn Stewart.
Dupont could have been penalised there. He was really in the way as Stewart tried to play that ball. Anthony Maria then, again. Reynolds, there's something going on in Barclay. It's all on now, all over the place, it's on.
Well, I said it's going to be important what they said in the changing rooms at half-time. There's a lot to deal with here for referee Gareth Hewitt. Catalan had a number of things that went against them, but it's important that they concentrate and focus on the game. No, they've got to get through this set. They've got 36 minutes to go till the final hooter.
This is going to take some time to get out. We thought before the game, with the discipline of these two sides, that this could get tasty, and it has early in the second half.
Separate. Just take it to the line break. Just calm it. Just take it to the line.
Not sure what ignited that. It was all happening back play.
Was it after Ben Crooks had offloaded the ball on the floor? It appeared to be around that point. People came running in from all over.
Our host broadcaster was following the ball.
And that was Ben Reynolds, who was straight through the gap, wasn't he?
There's Crooks on the ground. Oh, and then Crooks lashes out, and that's where something sparked off, and he lashed out at Greg Bird.
Yeah, he lashes out at Greg Bird. Greg Bird comes in, swings one, then Ben Crooks doesn't miss with a couple, and they're still going toe-to-toe. And then he surrounded Ben Crooks by a number of Catalan players.
I wonder if they spotted that one.
Well, Greg Bird went up to the referee and said, "Am I allowed to be hit in the face?"
Crooks.
Well, I think Ben Crooks is certainly going to go. Whether Greg Bird goes again here afterwards for what he eventually gets back up, and he has a couple of goals here.
Arms raised, punches thrown. He's had a busy afternoon, has Gareth Hewitt. And he's going to his pockets.
Yeah, first offence today too. 10 minutes.
And Ben Crooks has gone for a 10-minute sit down.
Greg.
Well, you think that Greg Bird will be following him as well?
10 minutes.
Wouldn't you?
Penalty to Catalan.
Catalan will get the penalty. Crooks was the man who started it.
Well, it's a blow, I think, for the Dragons. So they need Greg Bird out on the field. He's already been off once for an injury in the first half. The incident's been put on report and will be reviewed this week. It's an opportunity, and a great opportunity for the Dragons. The third penalty inside the first half, and look how close it takes them.
Come on, Glenn. Discipline, come
Catalan
on, hold.
attacking that end where the Centurion supporters are grouped. Around 1,000 of them have made the journey, and
Glenn,
they've enjoyed what they've seen so far. As Garcia drives towards the line, Pellissier throws himself into the tackle. It's very spicy out there.
Hold.
He has been impressive, Garcia.
Anderson, he's just short of the try line for the Catalan Dragons. Ayton gets the pass away. Walsh needs calm heads at the moment. Bousquet.
Move! Goal line, Anthony.
Hopkins and Pellissier make the tackle.
Go.
Ayton. Walsh now. Walsh to Horrow. Horrow coming across the field. Still going Justin Horrow. Looking for the gap. Batted down by Reynolds. Catalan will get another 6.
First one. Up down by
Reynolds just made a play for that. Justin Horrow bouncing across the line. Looking to pull the defender out. Looking to thread. I think it was Louis Anderson through the hole.
You have to admire Leigh's energy there in defence. You know, if you use emotions in the right way, they can assist the side. And they've done that there to defend with 100% commitment.
Let's get together, fellas. Come on, join the scrum. Here now.
Head and feet to the Catalan Dragons.
Time off.
16 points, the difference. A not insurmountable margin.
Get in, Leigh, come on. Time on. Out.
To Steve McNamara's team. Here is Fouad Yaha.
First move. Back.
Lachlan Burr making the tackle. Walsh now. Walsh quickly on to Krishnan Inu. Inu, a difficult man to stop when he's in the mood.
Did well then, Matty Fleming, to deal with that man, didn't he?
Penalty on. Inu just stepped in there.
Leave him.
Could have sparked something.
Oh, we've got to clear the ruck. Give him space.
The referee, Gareth Hewitt, very quickly in. Play continues. Mikel Simon drives it in towards that try line.
Line, wait, hold.
I feel there's a try coming here as there's a problem with Simon.
He's struggling to get to his feet, that left knee, the problem. Play continues though. Gigo's pass. Vincent Dupont, great defence again. Dawson it was with the tackle. Here is Busquets now. Whoa, big defence once more. Great work. Aiton fires the pass and it's infield and it's Fouad Yaha, and Fouad Yaha claims the try. Reynolds is imploring the referee now to look at something. Who'd be a match official?
It was built from centre field. Paul Aiton goes left, gives it to Tony Gigo, comes up from the full-back role, gives it to the big man, Fouad Yaha. So difficult to stop. Look at that, the effort to spin out the tackle. Ben Reynolds was asking, did he drop that ball? I don't think there's a problem with this.
Well, pound for pound, I don't think there's a more powerful winger than Fouad Yaha. Carries certainly a lot of weight, low centre of gravity, and there was no way, was there? I mean, they had to convert that chance. They had so much time close to Leigh's line. We're down to 12 players on both sides. There's more space than we normally would see. A few more metres for the winger there, and he's just about done enough to ground that ball in the corner. It was a brilliant pass from one of my favourite players, the Frenchman Tony Gigo. He is an outstanding pass for the ball, and he invited Fouad Yaha there. There's a 6 on that kicking tee there from Luke Walsh. He's hoping to make this 6 more points.
Difficult kick for Luke Walsh. But can Catalan stage another fight back? With goal kicking like that in your side, it's always a possibility. 18 points to 28, long way to go in this one.
Well, if you give Catalan the ball and you give penalties away close to your line, this is what's going to happen. You've got so many playmakers, they're big, they're powerful, they like to throw the ball around, and Fouad Yaha, when he gets that ball, he does well to score it. Then you're going to have to do it without, they've already lost Richie Milot, then you're going to have to do it without Michael Simon as well now. He's left the field, so that's another big loss for them. And looking at the way he hobbled off the pitch, behind the sticks, he won't be coming back on.
Centurions restart, Gigo underneath it, and Julien Busquets
Fast move! Back.
takes the ball up.
Go.
Now here's Remy Casti back on for another spell. The Catalan captain, their joint top tackler, second on Catalan's all-time appearance list now, Remy Casti. Real contributor to the club.
Go.
Here is Krishnan Inu. Just over the halfway line, trying to wrong foot the Centurions' defence. Aiton.
They're getting through the tackles here, aren't they? With ease, they're knocking the lead defenders backwards. Without leaving a man on the floor.
Gigo, they're running it, and they've got the men. They've got the men. Dupont will go for the line, and they have got back-to-back tries, and Vince Dupont claims another Catalan Dragons try. The fight back is on here. 8th try of the season for the centre, and they went for the power play, and look at the fullback Gigo revving the team up.
Well, Ben Cook's active ill discipline is now looking like it's going to cost the Leigh side quite a lot. They had a significant lead, it's being whittled away rather quickly. Good play there, running the ball, catch and pass, draw the man, and hope that your big player can crash over and put the ball on the line. He does that very successfully. No-look pass from Luke Walsh, a dummy from Vincent Dupont. He uses Fouad Yaha to hold off the defenders, to give him just enough time to get up close enough to the line. Throws out that big right arm like Dr. Gadget, in fact it's the left hand I should say, and throws the ball down over the line.
It was about recognising numbers then. You can see the fabulous work that Tony Gigo does from dummy half. When Luke Walsh flashes across the back of the rope, Tony Gigo gets out, he spots Lachlan Blair on the blind side, he goes at him, he plants his feet, he can't do anything, and then that man just takes over. Clever play from Catalan, it was a power set that got them into the position. Wow, some nerves here now if you're a Leigh Centurion fan.
Been all Catalan in the second half so far. And Walsh has missed for the first time in this game. 22-28.
We'll see them here, don't we? Tony Guijo, when he gets his hands on the ball, draw and pass. They knew they had space, they had the numbers, and they've got the momentum behind them. The league coach now making a double substitution. He's trying to put some fresh players on here. They've been out there for 10 minutes and they've been rolling backwards in retreat. Need to try and arrest that. We're hoping now with this kick and this set, they can somehow get their hands back on the ball.
Time to run at him.
You just have to look at the reaction from those players now. You're up against a very determined Catalan side that are going to be difficult to stop here. Leigh need to come up with something really special here.
28-12 it was when the second half kicked off. 28-22 it is now. Catalan building up a head of steam.
Well, the Dragons have had a problem this season in losing when they've had leads in the second half, particularly as a dangerous tackle here. The referee's going to blow the whistle and stop the clock to check it. On this occasion, if the Dragons are going to win it, they're going to have to come from behind to do so. As the head bent forwards.
I don't think there's a problem with that tackle there from Corey Patterson. He just needs to get up and play the ball, Tony Gigo. He's got to think about what's happening in the next play. Let the referee deal with all the high shots. Let him make the plays. That's what he's there for. I know some things have gone against him in the first half, but you've just got to let that go. He's let his teammates down.
There's a second there where his neck just gets twisted, perhaps awkwardly, although I know he's holding his face.
But he clutches his forehead.
Phil, he's okay. He's okay there.
He clutches his neck.
Yeah, he's okay. He's let his teammates down there because the man who's going to carry the ball after him, if he doesn't get a penalty, it's going to be a difficult carry. Don't play for the penalty. Play the ball. That's your job.
Gigo is back on his feet. They really are putting pressure on referee Gareth Ewer. He's got all sorts to contend with out there.
It's been reviewed, Luke. It's been reviewed. Wait. Tony, hold.
It looks like he's had a good day.
5 on, tackle 2.
Play continues. Gigo seems to be okay.
Danny, 10 metres. Wait.
Pellissier all over Garcia. And here is Julien Bousquet.
I think those two players, Garcia and Bousquet, they've been the difference for Catalan.
Oh, Aitons all over the place with that one.
Ball's
Look
lost.
at that, the experience of that man, the PNG international. Tremendous player, Paul Ayton. He just gets that wrong, doesn't he? Picking the ball up. That's bread and butter for him.
Big let-off for the Centurions. The pressure released, and it's well inside the Catalan half as well, so that's a bonus. And Leigh will just take their time.
Ready, Glenn?
It's almost as if they're recovering from shock here, isn't it? Now they've had a blitz for the last 6 minutes or so.
On the scrum, Justin.
And Arsene Hansen takes a deep breath and hopes his team here now can continue to do what they did. Look, they didn't know whether to have 5 or 6 players in the scrum here now. Worked it out in the end.
You stay, Luke.
There's Hickson and driven into the ground by Garcia.
Good shot from Garcia, wasn't it? Straight underneath Hickson.
Danny Tickle.
Back, Luke, and hold. Hold.
First half try scorer for the Centurions. Catalan supporters trying to lift their side. Harrison Hansen.
Hold. Where?
Leigh edging towards the Catalan line now. Corey Patterson just clinging onto that ball, almost squirmed away from his grasp. Just inside the 10 now. Pellissier. Here is Drinkwater. Lachlan Blur.
5.
Or Burr.
Line. Hold.
Pellissier. On the last. Drinkwater, little grubber kick in. Oh, and Gigo just gets down to it.
Ball's grounded in goal.
It's going to be a goal line dropout.
Well, they certainly like attacking their left side, the Leigh Centurions. Attacking where Chris Nenu is, and here comes Ben Crooks. He'll be back onto the field there. Nice, clever kick, dabs the ball through. Too much for Tony Gigo, put under an awful lot of pressure from Corey Patterson, the back rower for the Centurions.
Well, Paul Ayton's hoping that his mistake behind the play the ball a minute ago, leading onto this goal line dropout, doesn't lead to more points for the Leigh side. Both guys from the sin bin about to come and return refreshed.
Let's go. Stay behind.
So Gigo under those posts. Drop out to the 40-metre line. Back comes Tickle now.
First move, Remy! Hold, Paul, hold.
Another Leigh try here, and that maybe would kill off the Catalan resistance.
So they're going to watch themselves. They're really trying to slow Leigh down here.
Julian, hold.
If they give a penalty away, I'm sure Leigh would take the 2.
Burr plays the ball. Now it's with Glenn Stewart, and Stewart, as he did in the first, really working his socks off, looking to prove a point here against his former club. Not that Glenn Stewart has much to prove after his illustrious career.
Stand full.
Tickle, 12 metres out. Burr onto Drinkwater. Patterson looking for somebody, finds Drinkwater in the end. Drinkwater's little kick comes in. They could be in for a try here. They are with Ben Reynolds.
Check it, I'm sure because of the dead ball line on this occasion now. It looks close to it. He wants to check that he's onside and that he grounds the ball in the in-goal area. From that angle, we can't quite see whether his half-back partner is behind the kicker. There's no doubt that the ball is grounded on the in-goal area. But finding an angle to determine whether or not he's behind the ball as it's kicked. That's the challenge here now for the video referee. Nice interplay between the scrum half and standoff here. And I think we'll get confirmation of this here. He's behind the line as it's kicked. That gives us a clearer indication that he is onside, and this will be 6 more points for the Centurions.
Reynolds with the try. Another massive contribution surely from Ben Reynolds. Still looking, video ref James Child, but now the decision comes, and it is another try for the Leigh Centurions. Catalan are dumbstruck. Once again, they were getting in sight of their visitors. Once again, Leigh have come up with the goods.
It's a little nod and a wink from Josh Drinkwater. He looks across, he's looking for one of his forwards to hit a line, come underneath him. Who's he going to take the space? Ben Reynolds put his hand up, and that indicated that he wanted him to kick the ball forward. He stayed onside, and he come up with the try. And it was a good finish as well, wasn't it, from the standoff, Ben Reynolds, who now, can he turn his 4 into 6?
Second of the game for Ben Reynolds. He's having a great afternoon. And this to convert his try and surely now put the game beyond the reach of the Catalan Dragons. Reynolds on target. Once more, Leigh come up with the answer.
Well, last week at Leeds, it was Luke Gale who put a kick through, similar to the one we've just seen for Grant Millington. That ultimately ended up being a winning try. Will this be a winning try here now? And the points needed for Leigh to go home after a successful trip to the south of France. I'm sure it would make the whole trip far more enjoyable if they could pull off. It would be a remarkable victory for the team at the bottom of the Super League table here on the first ever voyage to Perpignan to play against the Dragons. The supporters are just desperate here now for a strong finish after what's been a pretty good hour.
Greg Bird back on the field also for the Catalan Dragons, so both sides back to a full complement. Still a goodly portion of the game to go, but you wonder how much Catalan have got in the tank now. They've really been chasing the game from the word go.
Seem to get themselves back into the game, then they fall out of the game, but by bringing Greg Bird back on the pitch from the sin bin, that will certainly help them. And Leigh Centurions, they've got to ride some tough periods here.
Bird will play the ball. Pelissier. And Drinkwater puts a good kick into the corner. And Gigot watches that one out of play, and he'll bring it back to the 20 to restart.
Well, it bounces the wrong side of the corner flag, so the Dragons will get 7 players here. The Leigh Centurions nice and tight. Good tackle from Lachlan Burke, controlling Jordy Broughton.
Still over a quarter of the game to go.
Yeah, lots of time for lots more points. We've watched lots of games with the Catalan Dragons, and it's ended up by about 40 points to 38, and there's every indication this could end up that way again.
Good work by Harrison Hansen and co to deny Samoa the chance to offload that ball. Here's Chris Naninu. Just occasionally popping up in this game, Chris Naninu.
He's been quiet, hasn't he? He's the sort of player that you do need. When they're chasing the game, you want your standout performers. Who's got that X factor that can come up with a play? Here's one man who certainly can.
Garcia.
5. Release Danny. Wait.
Was it Jason Baitieri?
Go.
Aiton, and then Leigh are penalised for offside.
He's got to clear the road.
Going to throw the ball. Ben Reynolds, please listen. When he throws the ball to Danny Tickle, the Leigh player there, gives him another penalty in that part of the field. The second time it's happened.
Let's go.
Go with them!
Go with them is the shout you hear from the Catalan, presumably, because nobody was with Busquets there.
If they get their arm free and they do that when they're chasing the game, they do like to offload the ball. Someone needs to be on the shoulder.
Well, are they on the shoulder of Luke Walsh now?
And that's better set-up play there. Look at Luke Walsh.
Line going. Wait.
Very influential, Luke Walsh, the half-back.
Baitieri, Sam Moa, Paul Aiton now. Aiton trying to weave his way through. Paul Aiton and Leigh clinging on to the former Leeds and Wakefield man. Corey Patterson doing his best without conceding a penalty. Walsh trying to duck his way under. It's with Gigo now. Again, they've got the opportunity. Duport to Fouad Yaha. Yaha keeps the ball alive, comes back in field, pops it to Walsh. Walsh over the top. Leigh, desperate scrambling defence. It's with Casti. Great work from the Centurions so far. Looked as though they'd been undone. Walsh puts the kick in. The ball's there, and it's Sam Moa who's pounced on it. It ricocheted all over the place. Sam Moa got it down.
Well, that's tackle.
I don't think there's a problem with this, Bill. This is a try.
Just check the offside, please.
I like your confidence, Terry.
I'm going straight in. This is a try, this, Phil.
These props, they stick together. They so rarely find themselves in this position.
So, okay, we're checking there's a kick. There's a ricochet off a Leigh player. Does it go forward and is he in an offside position? Not if the ball only touches the Leigh player. I think that's what the video referee has to determine. Are they onside before he kicks the ball? That's the next question. We can't quite tell from that angle.
Well, the ricochet, I think, is off Sam Moa himself.
Sam Moa.
Is he in an onside position?
Yeah.
Initially.
I think that he's okay, Phil. The ball comes off Corey Patton, then I think it's Sam Moa's trailing leg that kicks it forward. He's aware of the situation. Look at this, no problem. Look at the skills from the big Kiwi forward.
Sam Moa having a great season as far as try scoring goes. Has he got another one? He has. Catalan aren't out of this one yet. Tries in successive games last month for Sam Moa when he got a try at Widnes and then a try against Hull. And he's got another one now to take his tally to the season to 4, and it's bang in front of those posts for Walsh to convert. The Dragons won't go away.
Well, they've lost half of their attacking brain, the Dragons, when Richard Myler went off the field. Luke Walsh is doing a pretty good job here. The side have still managed to get 26 points. It should become 28 as this kick goes over. And I suppose we're probably forgetting, really, haven't we, that Reynolds and Drinkwater are doing double of course, the pressure that Luke Walsh has on his hand. The kick comes through, it's 6 more points, and they are now chasing. They've given that opportunity. They're not far behind, close enough to give them some confidence and belief. But they'll have to play very well here now as Leigh, well, they look nervous now as they wait behind the post.
Well, the team at the bottom of the table is surely going to look nervous, but Catalan are a dangerous side when they play unstructured rugby. They're chasing the game, they're offloading the ball. The forwards now are starting to run hard, like Greg Bird, who picks out Ben Reynolds on that occasion. They're just going here. Samoa, the try scorer. There's a belief now in the Dragons that they can get the points on the scoreboard and get the 2 valuable league points as well.
Here's Morrow.
Hold. Right, Danny, hold.
Tour de France starting today in northern France. Well, in Dusseldorf, in fact, in Germany. Who is going to be on their bike at the end of this one?
Well, we've had over a point a minute, which would indicate we'll probably see more than 10 or 20 still to go. They shift it wide to the left. There's space and an encouragement for the Dragons in front of the main stand. Gets the last play for Jar. Is he aware? Yes, at this point. Gives it on to Walsh.
Walsh hoists the kick. It's not deep enough, and it comes off Jody Broughton.
Ball's been knocked forward by Catalan.
And that'll be the turnover.
Hand over.
Well, Catalan knocked the ball on Jody Broughton.
Come back.
Matty Fleming, did he bump into to Jordy Broughton then and push him off the ball.
Wasn't the best kick they wanted, was it? 20 metres from the opponent's line. I suppose in defence for Luke Walsh, he was thrown it rather late.
Stand one.
Bit of panic set in from Fuad Yahad running from dummy half.
Trap that nearer to the try line, wouldn't they?
Here's Mitch Brown now.
Two, move.
Can the Leigh Centurions weather the storm here? Back in the middle of the field.
Surrender. Stand free. Go.
Jamie Acton plays the ball. There's so much chatter going on out there. It's with Higson now. Walsh with the tackle. 4 tackles gone. Catalan desperate to get it back. Leigh with Harrison Hansen spins away from the challenge. It's with Brown now. Now Stewart tackled by Greg Bird. 2 great former NRL players there in competition, Glenn Stewart and Greg Bird. Broughton this time solid underneath that one.
Do you know, that was a tremendous take. That he knew exactly what he had to do, Jordy Broughton. He had to catch that ball, get to ground as quick as he could. He was under an awful lot of pressure from Matty Dawson. And then Leigh trapping the Leigh Centurions player in, trying to earn a penalty.
Free move! Back corner, go!
Here's Jason Baitieri.
4, move Harrison! 10 metres, Glenn, wait.
Aiton.
Go.
Tony Gigot.
5, move Glenn!
Plays the ball. Enthusiastic play the ball.
I think attempted to get another penalty, wasn't he? I saw a Leigh player behind him in the ruck area. Tried to ricochet it off his legs.
Okay.
Dawson now drifts across field and evades 1 or 2 defenders. Gaps opening up here now, but you think more of the white shirts are moving quicker than the blue ones at present.
He's not known for his defence, Luke Walsh, but certainly he's putting some shots in this game.
Remy, wait.
Drink water from dummy half. They go the short side again, picking out Luke Walsh. Cody Patterson.
Paul, 10 metres, come on, go.
Drinkwater, the former London Bronco. That's a good run from Ben Crooks, the man with no number.
Wait, hold.
Lost in the scrap that he was involved in the first half. Ben Reynolds. Tickle, it's opened up the middle for Danny Tickle. Surely not another try. Tickle loses possession.
Tony Gigot, did he knock that ball out?
I think he did, you're right, Terry. I don't know why the referee's blowing his whistle. He said it's a loose carry. Tickle saying it was stripped from him. I think it was. Clearly the hand of Gigot, I should say, knocks the ball free.
Yeah, I agree, that was play on that. Danny Tickle asking the referee to go to the screen. But even when he grounded that ball, was his foot out of the field, the player? Was it over the dead ball line? I feel that it was, Phil.
Heads in,
it's up to him to keep control, isn't it?
Well, he's come over the top of Danny Tickle. He's made a clear swing for the ball. He's knocked it out of his grasp. Right.
Hold the line.
That's what Danny Tickle's saying to the referee.
Stay out.
Leigh edging towards only their 2nd away win of the season, but they concede a penalty. Anxiety from the Centurions now, desperate to stop the Catalan Dragons' progress. They concede the penalty.
And it's all about speed for Catalan. Tony Gigot, he went to the referee where the mark was set, kicks the ball out of the field of play. He just wants to attack now. They're rocking at present now here, Leigh Centurions.
Calm heads needed from the Centurions. Jason Baitieri runs it back in, but Stewart and Acton there to greet him.
He's a total dick.
It's in the middle of the field. With Casti, he's been hounded by Liam Hood and Corey Patterson and Danny Tickle. He manages to make a bit of progress. Justin Horrow. Nobody buys his dummy. Here's Inu. Walsh. Gigot. They really do fancy it on this side now. Dupont. But Reynolds gets a hold of him, then gets support from Crooks.
Randy, let's go. Randy.
Walsh kicks cross field. Inu will challenge for it. It's gone backwards, says the referee. It's with Samoa. It's Tony Gigot. We can't see if he's wiped the tackle count clean. The referee says play on as Gigot goes to ground.
Well, the fans think it's a penalty. I'm sure Louis Anderson If he had his time again, he would have, instead of passing the ball out, he would have run the ball. There was only Ben Reynolds in front of him. The smaller man could have maybe got over the top of him, got a decent quick play of the ball for the next player. Well, Leigh Centurions now tasked with bringing this ball away, Liam Hood onto the field to add some speed from that dummy half if there is a decent ruck.
Leigh have a lot of experienced players, and I think now's the time here for them to show that experience here. They need to do the right things, keep things simple. He's kicked it deep to the corner. What's the quality of the chase like? It's a great kick.
Good kick from Reynolds.
Great play. Probably the least experienced member here. Is he taken out? Tickle doesn't move. Question mark whether Jamie Acton runs through a shoulder charge, and I think he's committed to that tackle at that point.
I think that could have been a penalty, that
for a shoulder charge
from Jamie Acton. The first one, yeah, Danny Tickle doesn't have to move out the way, but Jamie Acton, and that's a penalty.
Tony Gigot chattering away. And Leigh doing a good job in the closing minutes of this game, managing the situation. Lots of chatter going on there. Greg Bird and Jamie Acton exchanging pleasantries by the look of things.
You have to see this a lot now. The referee stops the clock a lot of scrums when you get to those the last 15 minutes, particularly in close games. Restarted it now.
Well, Leigh chose to kick the ball early in that set. It was Ben Reynolds who stepped up.
Wakefield 2, Warrington 6. Warrington will be looking to Leigh Centurions to do them a favour here, and they're on course to do that. Warrington just ahead of the Dragons in the table. They don't need the Dragons to come back and win this one, the Wolves, but they are leading at Wakefield. Long way to go in that game, of course. Details online, score updates, highlights, skysports.com/rugby league. Fifth tackle, and Catalans struggling to make progress. Gigot gets away from Ben Crooks, and then Walsh kicks down the middle of the field, but that's going to be too strong. And Mitch Brown and Matty Fleming, glad to see that one reach the dead ball line.
Tony Gigot picked the ball up from on the last play, run from dummy half, then it was a hurried pass to get the ball to Luke Walsh, who puts too much weight on that kick. He didn't finish that set off well.
It's the third great game of the weekend, isn't it? 2 games, 24 points to 22. We've now got a game here with a 6-point margin. We're getting towards the last 10 minutes, and the team behind are going to get possession.
This game's playing into the hands of the Dragons, isn't it? There's a hand in there. There's a hand in there from Samoa. He strips the ball from Dawson. 3 men in the tackle.
Let's get together.
I'm sure it's time for sweet nothings. It's all or nothing for these two sides.
Stop the clock again here.
Yeah, Greg.
Not sure the Pellissier Pizza restaurant will still be open at the rate they're going.
Time on. Out.
Play restarts. Catalan Dragons now. It's getting desperate for them.
First move. On Jimmy. Go.
They're going to overhaul the Centurions. They need more points on the board, and soon.
Danny Holt, goal.
Louis Anderson, Walsh. Remember Richie Myler off the field. Danny Tickle throws himself into the challenge on Jason Baitieri. Paul Ayton, Walsh, Bird. The pass finds Justin Horrow. Horrow for the line, and Catalan score again, and it's Justin Horrow. His first of the season, and what a time to come up with that. Again, I think it's kicking off in back play after that try.
He's had some defending to do, Josh Drinkwater, the number 7 for the Centurions. When you defend out on the edges, the back rowers will tend to pick you out. You've just got to come hard and fast and pick your direct line. And if you can find the likes of Reynolds or Drinkwater in front of you, try to carry them forward, and it is Julian Bousquet and Jamie Acton getting involved. At one point it looks like he's outnumbered Jamie Acton. Well, they know they're up against it now with just over 10 minutes to go. Kick here for the Dragons, and the fans are made up. They've come out in the numbers to support them. Can Luke Walsh knock this 2 points over and bring the game level?
Yeah, nothing much. Time off. Hey, just think about what we're doing, think about our actions, all right, man.
And Walsh, surely,
Bingo.
from this sort of distance, this angle, it is a formality for the kicker who went into the game with an 87% success rate with the boot this season. He's missed just one kick at goal in this game. And this, as Terry said, to bring the scores level. It has been a tempestuous game, controversial game.
Well, I don't know how much it's cost the Leigh supporters to go and watch, but they're getting the value for money. 34 all.
Yep, bang on target.
Inside the last 10 minutes, and the home supporters are hoping. Well, it's more fun, isn't it? And they're more enjoyable when your team come from behind to win it. It's certainly not over, but with the determination of the run here from Justin Horrow, there was no way he was going to be stopped. It was a brave effort from Josh Drinkwater. The full-back or one of his teammates couldn't prevent the big back rower from getting the 4 points that they needed here. And it's been a tremendous second half. Leigh doing everything they can here now to lift the spirits. I think that's the biggest challenge now. I feel like they've been the tortoise in the hare. They've been caught from behind here now, and looks like they're rolling backwards.
28-12, they led at the start of the second half. 34 all now, the scoreline.
Wait.
And Catalan with the momentum, still 9 minutes on the clock.
And you said it, Bill, they've got the momentum, and if you had to pick a winner now, you'd surely be going for the French side. Look at that, good drive again. Good carry from Bousquet.
Hold, go.
Aiton, good sniping run from him. Acton and Hansen make the tackle. Gigot slips, manages to regain his footing, gets away from Reynolds, tries to duck under the tackle of Tickle, but can't do that. That's the fifth tackle. And Walsh goes for 1 point, way off target.
No.
Maybe an attacking kick into the corner. Well, that's how close the game is. Just over 8 minutes to go, but maybe built a bit of pressure, or was that the correct call, Phil?
There's no right or wrong, is there? He's on the field, he has to do what he thinks is best, and I can understand if you've got a chance to take the lead, why wouldn't you do? But he didn't strike it well enough.
Can Leigh work themselves into position to do that? Horrow desperately trying to free himself from Hickson's grip. There's all sorts of skullduggery going on out there.
Well, that's good work from Sam Ower, turning around to the referee saying he can't pull his hand away.
Up the middle of the field, it's Acton.
Again, nice and tight from the Centurions.
1 point, you think? Reynolds. Oh, better than that. Better than that.
Got a clean, Jason.
Jason Baitieri trapped. Couldn't get out of the way, and the 2 points on offer.
You know what? We've tried to outlaw this, didn't we, earlier in the season when players were doing it. We've been ineffective at doing so. I don't know what in this moment is the solution to that. But just sort of cynical penalties out there. The game's not designed for that. There's no skill involved in throwing the ball at your opponent to win a penalty from the referee.
I agree with you, but this could win the game for Leigh, couldn't it? We've had 3 penalties for the same infringement in this game, which is far too many.
Wasn't there a move to actually outlaw that?
There was, but it's very difficult. What else can the referee do, really? Because at times if the player is in the ruck, legitimately in the ruck, and it's still away from it there, hasn't it? I suppose he'd have to just retreat even further backwards.
Well, Reynolds, he's got 2 tries in this game, and now he's got the opportunity to again put the Leigh Centurions in front. Only just, but it could be the 2 points that make all the difference and lift the Centurions off the bottom of the table. Reynolds, bang on target, and Leigh on target for their second away win of the season.
Just about squeezes in, the touch judges put their flags up, the supporters put their shirts up in the air.
He goes short.
We're on for the big finish here. Will Catalan go short on this kick-off?
And they knew that Leigh could get up in Morsley to play at home against Wigan, and they've got up in Morsley to play away here against the Dragons. Will this be another famous victory for the club for the first real year back in Super League as a competitive team?
But don't go short, Catalan.
That surprises me, that, with just over 5 minutes on the clock. It goes short. You've got a non-rushing defensive line challenging maybe one man.
You've got to get the ball back here soon.
Move!
Mitch Brown is tackled.
Go.
Off goes Hickson. Hickson looking for a gap in the Catalan line. There's a Catalan player down behind play. I think it's Sam Moa. Glenn Stewart now.
Move! Back one.
And Leigh rolling forward with ease here. And looking for the coup de grace in this game.
To your feet. Go.
The try that will finally see off the Dragons' challenge, but the kick from Drinkwater too strong.
Poor kick, 7 tackles here from Catalan. Too much weight on it, didn't get the direction that he wanted. He was looking to knock it off the field of play, knock it into touch for the scrum.
Well, they need a penalty within these 7 tackles, but the referee's more nervous about putting that whistle near his lips now.
0.
Krishnan Inu has got a bang on the head by the look of things, but surely
Back Glenn,
you don't want to leave the scene of this dramatic finish. Broughton with a run. Ayton making yards. Wakefield are ahead against Warrington, 8-6. Plenty of that game to go. Highlights available full time, as you can see, skysports.com/rugby league. We've had two two-point finishes in the Sky Games already this weekend. Look at that, another 2-point game here. Is that the way it's going to stay, or can the Catalan Dragons close the gap? Walsh finds Justin Horrow. They've got to really throw caution to the wind now in the last 4 minutes here. That's the 5th tackle. What will Walsh come up with? He's going to kick cross-field. They're all going to chase it. They're all going to compete for it. And Ben Reynolds is going to come up with it.
Oh, well taken. He had to be brave. Louis Anderson was surrounding him with a number of his colleagues. Just look at them here now. Again, Luke Walsh getting his shoulder in as Fleming brings the ball away.
Good run from Matty Fleming. Look at the yards he's made.
Move! Hold Paul, wait. Hold.
Under 4 minutes or one. Fleming struggling to get to his feet. Took a bash there. But bravery.
Move, Vincent! Get square!
And Dawson now, he plays the ball. Reynolds, his Lachlan Bird.
Problem with Louis Anderson as well. He's got a problem with his shoulder, I think.
Keep going, Taz! Keep going, Taz! Keep going, Taz!
Here's Acton.
5, move!
Short pass.
10 metres, Sam.
Finds Sam Hopkins. 2-try hero for the Centurions as well. The kick is a good one.
It's a great kick. Was that Ben Reynolds then, wasn't it? Giving the ball under pressure with 2 men coming at him.
Now then, Jody Broughton.
A line of Leigh defenders in front of him there. They want to make this a special trip here now. They got off to a great start. Can they finish as well here now in control?
Shigo felt that. Sting in the tackle from Hopkins. Fuad Yaha.
When they go from the ruck, they're making an awful lot of meters. They don't need to spin the ball wide. If they keep keeping it tight, they could earn themselves a penalty here.
Greenberg plays the ball. Here is Luke Walsh now. Walsh, long ball, finds Krishnan Inu. Inu trying to use his footwork. But that's the 5th tackle. They're only just up to the halfway line. Gigo, little chip and chase, but Reynolds, the outstanding Ben Reynolds, claims the ball. Gigo tries to rip it from him, but can't do so.
And a little kick as well when Ben Reynolds was playing that ball. He just tapped that ball forward. That could have been a penalty. Oh, a knock on here from Leigh.
We're going to get a brilliant last 60 seconds here. The referee has stopped the clock. We're more like 90 here now. And we'll see whether anybody can make themselves a star for the weekend here for the home side in the south of France. I'll take a drink of water, taking a breath.
Sorry, Phil. Hickson mystified by that decision.
Right, we're together, lads. Let's get the formation.
What drama in Perpignan. Steve McNamara's first home game in charge, and it's a game that he won't forget in a hurry. He's hoping to remember it for the right reasons still in the last 90 seconds.
This is going to be a grandstand finish.
It needs some great defence now from the Centurions. Inu. Hickson with the tackle. The Catalan fans just appealing for anything and everything now. Broughton, the Leigh players keeping their discipline. Burr with the tackle. Ayton, Walsh now. Here is Greg Bird. Bird trying to engineer something for his side. Taken to ground by Hopkins. Here is Walsh now. Walsh, oh great work. It's Reynolds again. If you were giving a Sky Sports man of the match, surely Ben Reynolds would be getting that. They're not home and dry yet though. It's with Horrow. Horrow steps back in field. Walsh now. Walsh. Here's Gigo. Gigo across the field. Tony Gigo is batted down. It's 6 to go. Surely it is. The pressure is all on the Centurions. Here is Dupont.
Oh, wow.
The time, not tackles they need, though. That's running out quickly.
Samoa, the final 30 seconds of this fascinating game. Ayton. Here is Louis Anderson. All hands to the pumps for the Centurions. Man the barricades. Busquet. Busquet! Julian Busquet has won the game for the Catalan Dragons. Oh, what a cruel finish for the Centurions. In the closing seconds of the game, the big bus came rumbling through and there was nothing the Centurions could do to stop him.
It was always going to be difficult. The play of the balls were too quick. Leigh were not set on the line. Paul Ayton realises who's in front of Julian Busquet. It's a winger, it's a halfback. Julian Busquet is around 18.5 stone. So close to the line, and that's the match-winning pass and the match-winning try from that man, Julian Busquet.
What heartbreak for the Centurions to lose this one in the final seconds, having led 28-12 at half-time, having dominated the game for large parts.
Scored in the corner of the field where there's a giant billboard with previous club legends. He's making himself one of those with a try like this. What a memorable night for the home supporters there. You know what, maybe it doesn't matter if your team haven't played well. If you win with that sort of drama in the dying seconds, you certainly go home with happy thoughts. Unlike the Leigh team, who've worked as hard as they possibly could, will look as though they want to lose this one.
What an effort from the Centurions, but what a fight back from the Catalan Dragons. Look at those Leigh players down on the ground. They cannot believe that this game has got away from them.
It was their game. They've been absolutely tremendous in this game, the Leigh Centurions. They travelled to the south of France the first 40 minutes. You'd expected them to come out in the second half and win the game, but you've got to give credit to Paul Ayton. Paul Ayton, when he's got lots of things going through his mind, does he give the ball out wide to Luke Walsh, knowing that there's seconds left on the clock, or does he back himself and give the ball to the bigger man on the pitch who's going to go short side and pick out a smaller man and score the try? Well, that's it. Game, set and match to Catalan.
Walsh to rub salt in those Leigh Centurions' wounds. He does that. Catalan have escaped with the victory. It's their supporters who celebrate. Leigh are heartbroken. What an effort it was from the Centurions on their first ever visit to Perpignan. Catalan have claimed a rare double this season. Their first of the season, I think, in actual fact. They won at Leigh, now they've won at home against the Centurions, but only just. Another dramatic finish on Sky Sports from the Betfred Super League. This time, there was 4 points in it.